We've always been told that our paths have been set from above, and no matter what, your destiny is going to take you there. We have a man today who's a testament to this statement. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Anoop Agarwal, the CEO and co-founder of B2B Genie Pvt Ltd. Today, this conversation is going to be all about entrepreneurship's ins and outs, the challenges, and what it is to run a business of your own. Namaskar, I'm your host Priyal. Welcome to another episode of the ISU podcast. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
So, sir, my first question is, how did you start your business? What were the recent initial challenges that you must have faced starting out, and how did you overcome them?
So, I'm Anoop Agarwal. I did my engineering from Jodhpur, and then after a professional journey of almost 22 years, I started my first business in 2015. We started a water ATM company at Jaipur. We ran for almost 2 years. It didn't do too well, so it was kind of a failure. So I went back to my corporate job. I shifted to Bangladesh, and during COVID, we were stuck up in the same guest house, me and my co-founder partner Rohit Busari. And we used to discuss a lot about, what are the challenges in procurement space and building materials industry in India and around. So basically the genesis of this company, B2B Genie, was laid in Bangladesh during COVID days. And when we came back to India, so we met one of my college senior, who is now the owner of a listed company, HG Infra. And we were discussing about the various challenges in building material industry, and there I pitched him as my plan. We are thinking on these lines and how we can reduce the procurement pain pressure in building material industry. And he kind of liked it, and he said, you prepare a plan and come back to me. So it all took place within 2 to 3 months, and I had my discussion in the month of September 22. And in December 22, on 14th of December, we started the company. So yes, the genesis of the company took place in Bangladesh, but me and Rohit, we were working on this concept for maybe 2 to 3 years, because we knew the potential in this space is huge. The total addressable market in India is around $5 trillion. And there were players, but there was always a scope of new player. So the challenges were like, we got a lot of support from our investors company, and in terms of getting the licenses, getting the permission and everything. But yes, the challenge was getting the right manpower, because we were a startup and there were already a lot of established players like Off Business, Moglix, Infra Bazaar. Jindal was entering into one, Aditya Birla Group was there, Tata was there. So it was always a challenge, getting the right manpower. So what we did was, we did not go in for, fancy degrees, or we didn't go in for, people from IIMs or IITs. We went in for, person who have relevant experience, person who can go at the site, sit there for 24 hours and get the work done. So our biggest USP was, we hired people who are from the field and who had no qualms about staying at the site and working there. So we did around 28 crores business in first 3 months of the business company, and we devised a plan that we should do around 400 crores in the next year, and we closed 2023-24 at around 345 crores. And the best thing about our journey was that we were EBITDA positive in all the months of our operations, which was not there with any other company which is there in our space. And it is not that the things were easy, things were difficult, because worldwide companies were coming out of COVID, so there was pressure on the liquidity. Getting the right client was a big challenge. Then getting the money out of it was a bigger challenge. And so what we did was, as they say, entrepreneurship is about risk taking. We did take risk, but we also, it was like a calculated risk, and we had thought about it. The biggest challenge in our space is, getting the money out of the customer. What if he doesn't pay? What if he doesn't pay on time? So doesn't pay on time, yes, we have some mechanism like we can charge interest and whatever the things. But what if he doesn't pay? So what we did was we insured all our credits. So what it means is basically if I'm giving a material to a company, I first take insurance from the insurer. Like if I'm giving material to X company, I send my application to the insurer that I would like to supply 2 crore of material to this company. Shall I or shall I not? Once they say, okay, you can supply. So we do take precautions from our end, but still at the end of the day, what if the company defaults on the payment? So by taking credit insurance, what we ensure was that in case there is a default on the payment, we get all our money from the insurer. So that was one biggest risk in our business, and we got it covered through credit insurance. And then there were challenges of pilferages at various, because we are currently operating at 27 states in India. Our head office is in Jaipur. We have our branch offices in Pune, Ranchi, Bangalore, Cochin, but still, we have sites all across the country. So there was always challenge of pilferage and everything. So what we were doing is, we were getting all the receipts on real-time basis through WhatsApp. So, it was basically, a lot of learning, a lot of unlearning things which we had, over a period of time learned. But our biggest USP was that we had taken people who had relevant industry experience. And some of the people, like a lot of people, they had worked with us through our corporate career. So we took reliable people, and then rest is history. Today we stand at we would be closing somewhere around 440 crores. That's in the second full year of operations, and we are EBITDA positive. And the best thing is we are not dealing in 1 or 2 product categories. We are dealing in almost 21 product categories.
That's extremely wonderful. So I would like to know more about the business as well for the viewers, that what exactly the company is about, what are the kind of products that you deal in, and over the course of this response, I would also like you to touch upon the fact that how does, switching from a corporate job and moving into business is a risk you should take, or what are the cons of it of not taking?
Okay. So B2B Genie, it's basically a B2B marketplace for bulk commodities. So it's providing a platform for buyers and sellers to connect. So what we are doing is, people might say, a company like L&T, why would they need you? They can directly source their material from XYZ vendor. But there is always a challenge, suppose L&T, they are having their head office in Chennai. They have a project somewhere in Ranchi, somewhere near Bihar. So they would not have that competency. They would not have that connect to, connect with the vendor there. And we have people who are there on the ground. They have connect with the vendor. And also the problem with the vendor is they may not like to give material to a company coming from outside on credit basis. So that is where we step in. We talk to the vendor, we pay them on time, we pay them against the delivery, and we give material to our client maybe on 30-day credit or any agreed credit period. And we have some margin there. And we also ensure that the material which is being supplied to the client is of the right quality. So, and timely delivery. So in our space and building material or in any manufacturing industry space, the biggest challenge is right material in terms of quality, timely deliveries, and at the best price. So we ensure all these 3 things because of our expertise in sourcing, because of our connects in the industry. Coming back to the point, like why did I switch on from corporate life to business. Uh, there is a myth, the entrepreneurs are born. I am a Marwadi, so obviously, the business runs in my blood. But it's not like that. There are entrepreneurs from other caste and other this thing, and it's basically like had an understanding of the business, and I can see the potential. I was working with for somebody. I thought, then why should I work for somebody? Why not me? If I am doing something and making money for him, why should I not make money for myself? So that was my biggest this thing to get into business, and it was not for the first time I was getting into business. I had already started a company in 2015, and I failed. Another myth of entrepreneurship that failure is bad. No, failure is not at all bad. I learned a lot from my first failure, and the biggest thing was how to manage your cash flow. So failure gave me a lot of confidence in myself, that I can always get up and succeed, and this is what happened. So second time around, I was more prepared for everything. So it was more like a calculated risk. It was, all businesses are risky, but you need to have a good risk or a bad risk, a calculated risk or unnecessary risk. So we took a calculated risk. We had a plan in place. We had a financial backup in place, and since we had all the right ingredients, it was matter of time, and we could do well in our journey.
So, sir, it has always been, said that entrepreneurship is about passion. So, but at the end of the day, there has to be some practicality involved into it. How do you think that you can balance, have a, well balance between a passion and a practical approach towards entrepreneurship?
There has to be a perfect balance between passion and practicality. It's like two wheels, and they have to run in tandem. Passion is something like, hosla, zunoon, but it's not enough. You need to be practical. Passion will give you, motivation and fuel and energy to grow, to, bring your idea into this thing. But you need to have proper roadmap for, realizing that dream of yours. So there has to be a perfect, balance between passion and practicality for any business, for any, entrepreneur to grow. And luckily, in our case, I am more of a emotional and passionate guy, and my partner Rohit Busari is a very practical guy. So it was made for each other kind of a thing for us. And I take sometimes hasty decisions, but Rohit is always there to hold me back and revisit the things, revise the plans, and that's it. Like, things have gone better for us. Things are going, and I'm sure we'll do well.
Also, sir, you're an avid reader. What are some books that you would suggest to people who are starting out, their own businesses or aspiring entrepreneurs? And how do you think the books have also impacted your leadership mindset?
I've been an avid reader since my childhood. I remember reading during my school times. I remember reading Alex Haley, The Roots by Alex Haley. But my favorite author all time has been Ayn Rand. She has authored Atlas Shrugged, and her best book has been The Fountainhead. So it was more about, if you have read Ayn Rand, so it's more about objectivism. Her point is like self-interest is above everything. So it's a beautiful. She's a beautiful. She writes very, very beautifully, and her books have been bestsellers since decades. So I used to read it, and they have molded me in that way. I think about my interest, how I can do something better against the societal norms, but within the legal framework. So yes, she has molded my thought process, my mindset in a big way. And I have read a lot of books. I keep on reading a lot of books, business books, philosophical books. And one more author which has impacted me is Khaled Hosseini, who has written beautiful novels on Afghanistan. They are more on empathy, human relations. So both are, kind of diametrically opposite genre of authors, but they both have impacted me and the way I think and I do business also.
So, you've been involved in sports, cricket and lawn tennis. Do you also feel that sports have a very profound impact on an individual's life? And especially, how do you think as a leader, sports kind of impact the way you lead the organization?
Yeah, I've been an avid sportsman too, and I used to play a lot of games, but cricket and lawn tennis have always been my favorite games. So I've always believed that sports teaches you so many things, and especially so both are two separate types of game. Cricket is a team game, lawn tennis is an individual game. So cricket teaches you so many things, about leadership, collective responsibilities, strategic decision making. Like you have to change whatever plans you have devised in the your dressing room, but once you come on the field, something happens and you have to alter your plans there and there. So they have a lot of corollary with your business life. You have to be very resilient, you have to be very adaptive to changes, adaptive to your plans, and at the same time, like a captain pats cricketer, a bowler or a batsman, ki you have done well. Similarly, you have to do it in your corporate life. You have to be you have to lead by example. You have to encourage your team. So you learn a lot of things. You learn a lot of qualities while you are playing, and if you can emulate them and take it in your corporate life, nothing works better than that.
Also, beyond all the technical knowledge that we as students, gather over the time about different fields, but once entering into business, it is also about a different set of skill set that you need to foster. What do you think are the most important skills that a person should have if they are, venturing into business or thinking of starting their own startups?
First biggest thing is you need to have confidence in yourself. That can be a killer. Like if you don't have confidence in yourself and if something goes wrong, then you would sulk and nothing is like that. And even if you fail, there's always a second chance. And you should be good at recognizing opportunity, taking risk, taking calculated risk, not you think something and just you put it in action. It has to be like you should do a thorough market research, and it should be a calculated risk. You should have financial prudence. So maybe you may not be financially sound, but you should have somebody who would mentor you, who would guide you properly on financial prudence, because business is not only about having a good idea or executing it properly, but it is also about your financial prudence. You need to be financially very sound, either you or your team member. And it's not only always about you. Business is a collective effort. Entrepreneurship is a collective effort. You are the one who can have a idea, but you need to have a team to make it happen.
Also, one last thing before we end today's conversation. What is that one final message that you would want to leave our viewers with, especially about entrepreneurship, leadership, and somebody who's just trying to make the mark in their own world?
Don't be afraid of the failure. I failed in my business, and trust me, I was literally down the dumps. I came back. I again joined a corporate world, worked there for 4 years, but that zeal in me to do my own business was always there. And you live once, why not live your dream? And risks are always there. Take a calculated risk, live your dream, and don't be afraid of failures. And always remember, have a good network. It will always help you wherever you go.
Thank you so much, sir. It has been truly a pleasurable experience sitting down with you.
Thank you.
I hope, dear viewers, you're taking a lot of valuable insight from this episode. Please make sure to leave a feedback in the comment section. We would love to read them. And without any other further ado, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Thank you.